Hi and welcome to my video review of Fanatec GT2 wheel. This is the newest wheel in Fanatec's range and its specialty is compatibility with all three gaming platforms. So this wheel is compatible with PC, PS3 and Xbox 360. Other wheels on the market are only compatible with PC and PS3, so Xbox 360 compatibility is very rare feature, mainly because Microsoft has special licensing for Xbox compatible products, and this one is fully Xbox 360 compatible. As you can see, here's an Xbox 360 button, and let me first show you how to connect this wheel to an Xbox. I will turn it on with a switch that's on the right side of the wheel. It will calibrate. You'll notice that it stops a few degrees off center, and there's nothing wrong with that. Wheel is perfectly centered, but this is just one thing with Fanatec wheels. When they calibrate, they stop a bit off center, but that does not mean they're not centered properly. So now my Xbox 360 console is turned off. I will go ahead and press the Xbox 360 button for 2 seconds, and as you can see, my wheel has gone into Xbox 360 mode. The LED is blinking, and now my Xbox 360 has turned on and wheel is connected and recognized as #1 controller. You'll notice that buttons on this wheel are illuminated. This is another special feature on this wheel. In Xbox 360 mode, they show Xbox 360 symbols, so A, B, X and Y. But if I put it in PS3 mode, they will show PS3 symbols, so square, triangle, circle and so on. This is it for the front of the wheel. Let's go ahead and see what's on the sides, and let's see how it performs in games. Overall, this wheel is very similar to Fanatec GT3 RS version 2 wheel, so if you watch my review of that one, all this will be very familiar to you. But let's go over the cable connections one more time. The top one is a PS2 cable that comes from your shifter. The second one is also a PS2 cable that comes from the pedals, and the third one is a simple power cable that comes from your power brick. Besides that, there's also one button here, and this is a simple on-off switch that turns your wheel on or off without unplugging it from the wall. Besides that, you can also see the Clubsport pedal shifters here. They are made of aluminum and they come as standard with all Fanatec GT2 wheels. On the other side of the wheel, there's only this one USB cable, and this one connects your wheel to your PC or PS3. For connecting it to an Xbox 360, you don't need any cables. Connection is wireless. It just uses standard Xbox 360 wireless connectivity for controllers, just like any other gamepad. But if you want to connect it wirelessly to a PC or PS3, you can do it. You just need an extra dongle that does not come in the standard package. You need to buy it as an extra. Besides that, there's also a PS2 connection here. This is for connecting your shifter if you want to have it on the left side. And there's also this small connection. This is a port for Xbox 360 headset. I've tested it out and it works great. You don't need to do any special setup. It just works out of the box like with any other Xbox 360 gamepad. Now I've connected my wheel to my PS3 and put it in PS3 mode, and as you can see, here are PS3 buttons and they look really nice. Unlike the illumination for Xbox 360, where each button has different color, here all buttons are illuminated in red, but it looks really cool. And in this position, you can also see my shifter. This is standard Fanatec shifter, and it does not come with standard edition of this wheel. It only comes in the Clubsport edition, but it can be bought as an extra in Fanatec's shifter set. And in that shifter set there are two shifters, this one and a sequential one. It's quite affordable, and I must say that I like this shifter quite a lot. The only one I can compare it to is Logitech's shifter of G25 wheel, and they have really very different feels. That Logitech shifter is really soft, whereas this one is quite hard. I'd say it has very realistic resistance, but it's also quite noisy, as you can hear. For mounting this shifter, these two special metal rods are used, and I don't see anything wrong with it. As you can see, the shifter moves a bit. It moves a bit while shifting, but to be honest, I don't notice that while driving. But it's definitely a con for many people. And if you want to have it really secure, you can buy Fanatec's Clubsport table clamp. But if you ask me, that's not necessary. Overall, the shifter is very precise. I don't find myself misshifting, and it's quite a nice shifter. It's made of plastic, but it's very solid, and it's working so far. I've had it for more than half a year now, I think. A very important feature of all Fanatec wheels is their adjustability. With this button you access a menu in which you have 5 settings. So we can have number 1 for Forza, number 2 for Gran Turismo, number 3 for iRacing, and so on. Or you just have number 1 for one car and then number 2 for another, and so on. Under each setting you have sensitivity, which determines degrees of rotation from 90 to 900, force feedback strength from 0 to 100, strength of vibration from 0 to 100. This wheel has 2 vibration motors here and here to simulate motor vibration and ABS lockup. The next one is drift mode, which makes wheel lighter and faster for drifters, or if you just want to make it more controllable, let's say. The next one is ABS. This one can be set from 0 to 100 and determines the braking percentage at which wheel vibration turns on to warn you that you're probably locking your wheels up. Then you have linearity from 0 to 100. With this one you can make steering linear or unlinear. The next one is dead zone. As you probably know, Fanatec wheels have practically no dead zone, unlike some other wheels, and that's a very positive feature, but the problem is that some game developers don't take this into account and make their force feedback to work well with wheels that have big dead zone, and so sometimes you have to add, let's say, 10 or 20 degrees of dead zone just to prevent wheel shaking on straights. The next one is spring. This one only works in PS3 mode and basically determines how strong the force returning your wheel to the center is. And then you also have damper strength, which determines strength of damping and can be set from -3 to +3. It's quite useful. This is all. All in all, I'm very pleased with the performance of Fanatec GT2. The obvious thing to do here is to compare it to GT3 RS version 2, which I've had for quite some time now, and I've grown to like it more and more. GT2 is very similar to it, so it's not a revolutionary wheel, but it combines all the great features Fanatec has developed until now. and besides being compatible with 3 most popular platforms, it's also the only high-performance wheel you can buy for an Xbox 360. I've decided to test this wheel out very thoroughly. On Xbox 360 I played Forza 3, on PS3 I obviously picked up Gran Turismo 5, and for PC testing I picked up 2 games I think have the best force feedback available, Netcar Pro and iRacing. Across the board, force feedback performance was outstanding, with the wheel delivering very smooth, tight and realistic force feedback while producing little noise. Since this was the first time I played Forza 3 with a wheel, I can't really compare it to anything, but I know that this is by far the best wheel you can get for it, and it is the only game that takes advantage of the built-in vibration, because here the vibration motors actually get inputs from the game instead of just being controlled by either your brake or gas pedal. You can really see that this wheel was developed with Forza 3 in mind, because everything works flawlessly out of the box with clutch and shifter function integrated really well. Going to Gran Turismo 5, I immediately noticed that the basic force feedback is simply more advanced than in Forza. I don't think it has more effects, but you have a really good feeling of where your car's weight is at all times. Compared to G25, this is a much more authentic experience, and to be honest, I didn't really feel the need to tinker with wheel settings too much. The only thing I felt was necessary to do for a few cars was to add 20 or 30 degrees of dead zone just to avoid a bit of shaking that was present on the straights. In the end I went for the kings of force feedback, which are definitely PC simulations, and I was most impressed by Netcar Pro. Driving the newest KS2 Formula car, I experienced the most precise force feedback ever. I don't know how they pull it off, but no other game has as tight force feedback as this one, and you can definitely feel it a lot better thanks to the minuscule dead zone this wheel has. In iRacing, which is currently the most important and probably also the most realistic racing simulation, the feel was also very good, and to be honest, it kinda reminded me of Gran Turismo. The beautiful thing here is that even though this wheel gives you lots of adjustability, I never really felt the need to go and customize the settings too much, especially with PC games. This wheel has the same pros and cons as GT3 RS version 2. It has a big thick wheel rim wrapped in Alcantara that is durable, comfortable and gives you good grip. It uses very nice materials that remind you of those used in real cars, and it performs really well. It also has the same negative points. Even though I think that buttons under the shifter pedals have been improved a bit in the last half year, I still think that in a wheel this expensive they should have their own metal axis, and I feel like the quality of plastic used for wheels housing could be improved. The mounting mechanism is very fast, but it does not hold the wheel as sturdily as that on Logitech wheels. Under normal use it holds the wheel well, but if you try to pull it towards you, you can lean it a bit. To conclude, I'd say that this wheel is a bit pricey compared to others, but that's what you have to pay to get a wheel that is compatible with all 3 platforms. If you don't own an Xbox 360, buying this one over GT3 RS version 2 makes no sense. But if you do, then this is the best thing you can buy, and the only decision you have to make is whether you're willing to spend $250 on a package without pedals and shifters. If you own a Logitech G25 or G27 wheel, then you don't need anything extra, because in the standard package of Fanatec GT2 you get an adapter from Fanatec to Logitech pedals. But if you don't own any Logitech wheel, then you have to buy either used Logitech pedals or buy new Fanatec standard or Clubsport pedals, which are also included in Clubsport edition of this wheel. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked my review. If you want to get more information about Fanatec, you can visit Fanatec Wheel fansite at fanatecwheel.com. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. Thank you.